How often do we wonder why God's blessings seem distant in our lives? Why does it feel like our prayers go unanswered? There may be things blocking us from fully receiving the gifts God has in store. By removing these barriers, we open our hearts to experience the profound love and grace that is always available to us. What if I told you that God's blessings are ready to flow into your life in astounding ways? God is yearning to shower you with gifts of joy, prosperity, healing, and more. Yet there are blockages that prevent us from being able to fully receive these gifts of grace. As we explore what may be obstructing God's blessings today, I invite you to reflect openly and see if any of these resonate for you. My intention is that this enables you to receive more of what God is waiting to give you. The first barrier that often blocks God's blessings is believing we are separate from God. On a deep level, there is a part of the mind that sees itself as disconnected, like God and I are two isolated forces, sometimes working together but essentially on our own paths. As long as we buy into this illusion of separation, we block the natural flow of God's grace. In truth, we exist within God. Just as a fish exists fully within the ocean, we live and move and breathe within the loving presence of the divine. God is not some being apart from us occasionally doling out blessings and punishments. God is the ground of our being, closer to us than our own breath. Can you open your mind and heart to the radical oneness shared with your Creator? Let this visceral sense of deep connection course through you. As you do, notice what opens and shifts. Another thing that prevents us receiving God's blessings fully is unconsciously believing we don't deserve them. There may be a nagging sense of unworthiness that was instilled early in life. This confined self-image acts as a barricade, blocking out anything that doesn't conform to such a narrow view. Know that you absolutely deserve all of God's riches, and so much more than you can even imagine right now. This has nothing to do with accomplishments or being perfect or measuring up. You deserve simply by virtue of being a beloved child of God. Can you allow this truth to wash over the places in your psyche still stuck in old messages of not being good enough? Let any lingering sense of deficiency dissolve in the light of your innate sacredness. In addition to undeservingness, another thing obstructing God's blessings is bitterness. When there are people or situations from our past that we have not fully released through forgiveness, this festering resentment takes up space in our lives that could otherwise be filled with grace. We may not even be consciously aware of who or what we still resent. Yet on subtle levels, these energetic blockages stemming from bitterness impact what we magnetize. Consider if there are any remaining grudges you carry. Even if justified, recognize how clinging to anger only hurts you by closing you off from receiving all that God holds. You can choose to relinquish resentment and offer forgiveness, not condoning what happened, but releasing your right to punish others through bitterness. Feel the lightness as you let go of old wounds. As you forgive those who have harmed you, bless them on their path. Notice how this opens you as a vessel to experience more of God's blessings. In a similar vein, expectations are another thing that often blocks what God has in store for us. We can become attached to certain ideas of what form the blessings will take, when they will manifest, or how the details will look. Yet the universe has far more creative solutions than our human minds often conceive. By relaxing expectations and getting out of the way with trust, we allow space for miracles beyond our wildest dreams. Can you release narrow views making demands on the timing or packaging, and come into beginner's mind to see with fresh eyes? Let wonder and curiosity guide you. Live as the blessing, fully present to what is with gratitude, rather than always looking to some elusive marker for happiness. Here and now overflow with God's gifts when we attune to life's majesty. Finally, a massive barrier cut off from God's blessings for so many is fear. Unconscious fears and worries act like dense clouds blocking the sun. We may be afraid that if things get too good, the other shoe will drop, so better not get too excited or hopeful. Or fear of change or the unknown makes us cling to outgrown situations far past their expiration date. We imagine worst-case scenarios that haven't and likely may never happen. Yet in all these examples, fear-based thinking cuts us off from experiencing life's richness and beauty, sabotaging our connections and choking our own growth, all while depleting precious energy. The invitation is to tend carefully to fears and anxieties as they arise, attending to any valid concerns while releasing irrational imagined outcomes that hijack your peace. Replace worry or panic with affirmations of God's ever-present help and highest unfolding. Breathe and allow supportive possibilities previously unthinkable to reveal themselves. With courage and willingness, keep taking steps beyond comfort zones. Allow each lesson to strengthen your faith muscle, so fear arises less often to block you from receiving. So in reflection, do any of these common blockages resonate for you? Believing you are separate from God rather than an integral part of the interconnected whole? Unconscious feelings of unworthiness obstructing a greater flow? Resentments and grudges that occupy space meant for positive energies and blessings? Rigid expectations or demands preventing you from noticing and receiving gifts born from life's creative solutions? Or fear holding you back from taking leaps, doubting support will be there? I invite you to notice whichever of these may ring true without self-judgment. Getting curious about how and where they show up empowers you. Then consciously work to dismantle anything blocking you from experiencing more of God's lavish blessings already available. Remember, you deserve simply for being a radiant child of the divine, worthy beyond measure. God is not separate, but the very heartbeat within you, closer than your next breath. Bless and release the past, clearing space for new positive patterns, open to receive from directions unanticipated, and move ahead despite fear or doubt, anchored in the knowledge of God's unconditional love guiding the way. You are not alone. God believes in you with a force greater than anything you have ever or will ever encounter. God knows the seeds of greatness planted within you, the areas needing nurtured in order to blossom into their fullest magnificence. Your only responsibility is to continually say yes. Yes to greater surrender, yes to deepening self-care and devotion, yes to releasing limits on what is possible. Stay near to the divine through daily spiritual practice. Learn to listen to, and then act on, the inner guidance you receive. Surround yourself with those who fan your flames rather than diminish your light. Live your unique soul print with courage and curiosity. In each moment, choose faith and spaciousness over fear and constriction. Then watch in awe as miracles unfold. Witness long-awaited hopes and dreams manifesting. Experience grace upon grace descending to kiss every ordinary moment with magic. Feel gratitude welling up and overflowing. Taste profound meaning in all you do. Discover bliss, adventure, and wonder awaiting around every turn. Drink deeply from the well of God's boundless blessings already present within and all around you. Receive this divine inheritance as the gift it is. Then pay it forward, sharing these blessings to lift our world. May we walk together, co-creating the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. I honor the sacred in you that is awakening more each day. I celebrate the blessings headed your way even now as you claim your birthright as a child of God. Our journey has just begun.